There we go. Stop. Right, here we go. 4 people here. Probably 2 of us, that's me and Todd. And 2 more. Good morning.
PopeKael, good going.
Oh, he's
And if you don't understand Thai, that's hello everyone.
there you go. So, yeah, we're not doing Thai lessons today, are we?
No, no, I just thought I'd give it a bit of a Thai flavour to start off with.
Poor Thai my day.
That's what you tell everyone.
I cannot speak Thai. I'll stick into that story for the rest of my life. Okay, right, what do we got going on? Shannon, g'day, how you doing? And we got Malcolm K, and then there's the guy had his popped his cherry with his shots last week, and Jack Dorrington and XNLO. Okay, just getting myself comfortable. So what's everybody been doing? What's the story for today? We've got some news articles. Well, actually, we haven't got very many news articles today because nothing really has happened this week. It's been a bit of a sort of one of those weeks where, just life has just gone on regular.
That's pretty normal. That's pretty normal.
There we go. My Streamlabs things are doing don't think they're good. It's working again. I remember to press all the right buttons today. Well, I think I did anyway. I could be wrong. Yeah. So, what's been going on? Well, this week we've had virtually no rain. Had a little bit of rain, I think Tuesday night. But that was it. Seth Barker, g'day. I did get up and I did one little video short. I took a video up near the Clong on 36, how the backwater, so you got the big pumping thing, yep, and the Clong level, so you can see the Clong level, and you can then see the actual river level. It's about an extra metre higher than the Clong level. I got where's that short? I might as well find that. Where is it? If I can find it, that is. It was. It's not there. It's not there. It's going to be here somewhere. Photos. Don't really want to see my screenshots of my phone. Where was it? Yeah, there we go. So for Tuesday, so there was 3 pieces. Of course, it's going to have to buffer. Good morning, Robert. How you doing? Feeling any better? Yeah, so I'll get there. It's just I've got this feature on my browser to not autoplay videos, so it's sort of one of those. It's a bit of a nuisance, when you want things to work, and then it's got to download from Google Drive. Yeah. You know how it works.
Rosie, all good down here. Slowly getting better. That is awesome news, Mayor Groves.
Anyway, so what we'll do is we'll go to that. We'll drag this down here. See if we can get it to actually play ball.
Still buffering.
Oh no, it finished buffering. Just the fact that I stopped, I clicked onto the next photo, and then it decided to go and buffer the whole thing again. Really? It's just downloaded and cached it in the system. Honestly. As for the question is, have we been flooded out this season here with all the rain? Well, I haven't seen this Clong. I think the deepest I've seen it on this, if we have a look at that's my Clong. Pipe, I've only ever seen that drain pipe half covered through the whole rainy season. So I think things are pretty good. That'll be number 2. There we go. So this is the actual Clong. This Clong's not our Clong. This is the next Clong up. But there's a good 1 metre difference in height. So that sluice gate is holding back a 1 metre high tide on our river. And we haven't had any flooding, which is pretty good. There we go. So this is. And then there's the third one, yeah, little buffer, because that was they're in three parts. You could just watch them. We just watched them in reverse order, of course. I was trying to avoid that. Oh, come on, buffer, would you? How do I get one of those wrenches next to my name? Well, being regular. That'll all happen in due course. But it's just one of those things. It's from the old days. I just haven't bothered taking wrenches off everybody that comes in. It was really determining all the fakers that copy people's names, but now we've got handles, so it won't be a problem. So here we are out at the Chan River, which is near where we live here. Just out through there, to the gap there is the river. It comes through to this section here. This is the sluice gate. This is how high the that was the height of the river. River is, and if you look through here, it's a bit hard to see. That's the height of the clongs that we saw before on that second video. It's
Meter and a half.
It's about a metre, yeah. But that was actually sort of that these pumps weren't going, so the water level in the clong was probably just at its normal height. What we've been seeing for the last 2 weeks is this pumping station just bubbling, and it's been even throwing it back onto the road. You know, it's just trying to pump it out because the river's so high. This is the low point in Don Y. Just at this particular point, it's probably the lowest point, or riverside. But yeah, it's been interesting watching this. This battle of nature that goes on here for the last few weeks, and we've probably got another 2 to 4 weeks of it, which is interesting. Until all the water subsides.
I've seen a couple of photos this week in some of the chat groups. They're still sandbagging.
Oh, well, where's the they got that one on? I got that in our line.
In Bangkok.
In our line group, we've got something, haven't we? Oh, come on! Could be open our line group.
Dave put that up. From memory.
Dave put some. Yeah. See if I can get that up. This is one of the piers. Dave sort of said it's the pier at Bang Na Nok Pier. There's that one, and then there's that one there. And then there's that one there.
The rain has sort of stopped, but there's still a lot of water out.
Yeah, it's that's the Chao Phraya River, which is the main river through Bangkok. So yeah, we might not have any rain, but we're definitely having to deal with the runoff. That's the main thing. But anyway, look, if you want to come along and join us in the Discord group and be part of the visual panel, and you're quite welcome. Otherwise, we'll hold the show. So the wrenches was just a bit of a heads up there. Like, back in the old day when we first started streaming, when it was me and Stephen and Kev, we had a lot of tyre kickers. And a lot of people were doing the whole, I'm going to call myself Todd Austin, and the name Todd Austin would come up, and then they start, because you can't see, they steal your little thumbnail, and then they make an account calling themselves that. So we put spanners on the main regulars, who might have been the ones that people were coming to copy, and we caught a few people out that way. It was all right. It worked. We were in it was pretty dry. We had some rain on Tuesday night, but it wasn't much. But so we put the spanners on people so we could determine who was there, and of course they're moderators. But as I said, the moderation system on YouTube seems to work quite well with the ban, with the swear words and all that sort of stuff. But if you want one, if I recognise your name come up enough times, Steph, I'll go and put a spanner on your name just for the sake of it. So again, I still got to work this timing out on the thing. I think the timing thing works right. I just got to probably extend the number of chat lines. But anyway,
I just put something up about joining Discord if people aren't sure about how to do it.
I think that comes up in the span in the list, but it's line 10, not line 5 or something. Understanding the timing process is weird, but it's all good. Well, so Todd's been having a lot of fun in his Ark exploits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm into the gaming thing.
He's-
I know a lot of people aren't, but I am.
He's done more Ark planets than me. You won more, of course. I just haven't done Aberration yet. But it's Aberration seems a lot of fun. You've been having a bit of fun, dying a lot with that one.
Dying a lot this time, yeah. But that keeps me occupied, keeps the brain functioning, which is one of the things I want to keep working.
Yeah, the interesting thing is that planet you're on now reminds me of that movie from Riddick, Riddick, the second one in the series, where they go to the prison planet. Right.
Yeah.
Basically, the island he's on now, basically, in the daylight, it will cook you. It's just like severe sunburn. They're like due to 5,000. What do you call it? So anti-suntan lotion doesn't work. It'll fry you to crisp in seconds, just like they did in just like in that Riddick movie. Nighttime's okay. And we got Mark's joined the crowd. G'day, Mark. How you doing?
You back in Thailand, mate? Or are you still in Oz?
Who's that one coming in?
That'll be psycho.
Was it Psycho? Is it? Oh, there it is. There it is. And looking like that's a picture. It's not out your window. It's a picture, isn't it?
Yeah, especially with the way that XSplit is
Not behaving.
not doing what I wanted it to do. It does it fine until I tell it to do it with Discord, and then it's like, nope,
And then it gets
we're
it
not gonna
right.
do that.
Mine never seems to
There
have
we
a
go.
problem.
There
I
we
think-
go. You
yeah.
just have to turn it off and turn it back on.
That's because I
It
use-
seems to actually do it.
I think it's because I got the video. It's always updating the background.
A few updates ago, it was no problem, but now it is what it is.
Good morning, everybody, from sunny Jontium, enjoying the coffee near the beach. That's Paul in Sydney, who's in Jontium. There's Paul in Jontium now, and not Paul in Sydney. There you go. So what have you been up to, Psycho?
Just meeting new people, making more friends, more connections.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Going out, doing some gaming, doing some nightlife stuff. Last night I said I was gonna have 3 drinks, then I had 4, so that was. Now, granted, one of those was a Long Island iced tea too.
So, your limit is 3, is it? Not 4.
No, I was just doing that because apparently we're gonna go out again tonight. So it's like, if I'm gonna do that, I have to kind of pace myself. But no, seriously, meeting some interesting people, talking about different projects in technology. I will leave it kind of at that for the moment, and then drinking and then going back and playing Overwatch for several hours.
Well, for
It's hilarious.
For those regulars that saw the video this week from the computer upgrade, they'll actually know what a Steam Deck is now. So.
Oh yeah.
For those.
I need to. Okay. Actually, on that subject, Wazza, what is, for the love of God, what is the type of bag that you have called? Because I've tried to describe this, and when I describe over the shoulder, half strap, half backpack bag to people, they have no clue what I'm talking about.
It's hard to tell.
And
It's just got a brand on it, Volunteer. I bought it from the mall, Bunquay. That was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, because I need something like that that's that size for the Steam Deck, and that's I don't want like a man purse or whatever.
Yeah, what you need is you probably cut a cardboard shape out just so you get the exact size, carry it with you, and then sort of and check to make sure that the bags will take it. But yeah, they've got a whole range of them in the mall. Probably not that one, but
Yeah, I would like one that's waterproof, um, or at least got some sort of waterproofing on it, because at least rain resistant, because the Steam Deck is not, and yeah, something like that.
Well, the rain's finished now. It's now November, a couple of days.
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
that's
But I'm gonna be in Thailand more than the dry season, so I need something, that's long term. I'm not gonna go, oh well, it's rainy season, I guess I'm not gonna go anywhere. No, I happen to enjoy the rainy season. It's actually my favorite season. It's the most interesting season.
It is.
I
It's not boring. That's for certain. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, boring is the antithesis of life. Like, yeah.
Like Action says, is that a messenger bag? I don't know. Is that what you're looking for?
I don't know if I would call it a messenger bag, because the messenger bags typically, at least in my mind, they're more like.
No, and we just lost him. We haven't. No, it's not my end. That's right. It just glitched out. Check
There we go. Okay.
That was just you.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to repeat what I said. So the messenger bags, to me, it doesn't seem like a messenger bag. This messenger bag seems like it's more of a, like, hang down off of the shoulder type of bag, where what Wazza has still is on the back, and that's where I would prefer it still on the back rather than on the side.
Okay, I'll just look at these images. Messenger bags, like that's the older style I used to have. Yeah.
Or satchel. I tried using the word satchel, and I realized that wasn't what I wanted at all. But yeah, it's like a half pack. I don't know how to describe. It's like a backpack, and you cut it in half, like top to bottom, and you have half of it, but it's like a 3-point. You could have a 3-point sling on it. It's super difficult to describe.
Yeah, well, I'm just looking at some images.
There's probably a word for it, in fashion or something.
I just found this. Where are we?
I wear t-shirts and shorts all the time, so obviously I am not fashionable, so I don't know this vocabulary.
Okay, he's called this one here 5 best shoulder bags for men. Bagheera, and that's a brand, I guess.
Let's see, I actually need to pull up your stream. Okay, let's see.
Oh, so you do what's the point of doing a blog post without really? There was pictures in the link.
Yeah, so something like that, but on the back rather than the front.
Well, mine I swapped between the front and the bag.
Okay. So I guess maybe something that could be on the back and the front, but I don't want leather. I don't want leather. Yeah. Leather. I don't know. I associate unless it's like a leather coat. That looks too
gay.
No.
So.
Nah, just too like city folk. That one's in the right direction, but it's still cross chest bag. Okay, single shoulder strap cross chest bag. That's a mouthful.
Yeah, it's good because of the fact that you can put it on the front when you're in the MRT in close spaces. You can pull it to the front of you so it's in front of you, so people not pickpocketing. And when you walk, you put it on your side, and if you want to go fast, you can sling it to the back and get it right out of the way.
Yeah.
It just works.
That's what I want. Yeah. That is what I want.
Yeah, I would just call it a man shoulder bag in something.
No, because if you get man shoulder bag, you get that second image that is from the top, and that's not what I want. But it is what it is. But I want to go to a store that actually has them, because I want to know. I want to be able to touch it and be like, is this water resistant in any way? Because I would like some water resistance out of it. I don't want a, 50 baht scares me for one of those.
Yeah, I paid quite a lot for that one. That was about 1,000 baht because it's a designer.
Okay.
It's a designer one, It's just
see, I don't want to pay for fashion. I want to pay for functionality.
Yeah, well, it had the function.
I could care less about fashion. Matter of fact, I typically want to shy away from whatever's fashionable, and I want functional.
Yeah.
But that's me.
Yeah, the mall has a few, but I think Terminal 21, there's a bag place in Terminal 21 on the second floor that I got my other bag from that had a few of these as well.
Yeah, I looked. What was it? The third floor. It's the one the escalator drops you out off
Mm.
on.
Hmm.
And I looked there, and there was one place that had some bags, but none of them quite fit right for me. So
Mm.
that's the other thing. But
All right.
that's what I need to find for the Steam
There's
Deck
a
anyway.
question. There's a question. Google shoulder back there. Can't wait for the staff. Yes, it was Dave Johnson. Warren, are stimulants legal in? Well, depend on the stimulants you're talking about. They have a product here, which is a natural grown product called kratom. That was legalised earlier this year. This is a traditional Thai herb, which was used in the sort of in the morning wake up and in your food. It had a sort of it's similar to natural speed or a coffee replacement. It actually tastes quite disgusting. You think coffee is bitter, like Cody doesn't drink coffee because it's bitter. You think
I
that's
am a
bitter?
child.
That's right. But yeah, you try kratom. I had somebody had a glass of kratom water or what it was, and seriously, I'd rather drink piss. It tastes quite awful. I don't know. Yeah, but anyway, aside from that, stimulants. What have I seen in the marketplace? Apart from the stuff, there is an article we'll talk about this drug bust that was on this week. But apart from the illegal stimulants, I haven't seen uppers. But of course, I don't need uppers. God, if I had uppers, I'd never freaking sleep. And same with Todd. he can't sleep at the best of
I don't
times.
sleep anyway. Yeah.
So yeah, so that's the thing that I don't really get into. Although I've had them in the past, it's just never been my thing. I think I need things to slow me down. Oh, Jen Desperado's in the house. G'day, Jen.
Yeah, I
Um,
can't do weed because I don't like being forced to be slowed down. I fight it.
yeah, I don't have a
It,
problem
it,
there.
it does not bring me to an enjoyable, like, happy place. Like, if I want to calm down, I'll calm down. I
But
don't.
I think that look, Robert Groves in the house. I'm pretty sure he might know. He's been coming here lot longer than I have. Uppers, are they legal? Yeah. Anyway, selection of fine Corinthian leather.
Hmm.
Nothing wrong with a man bag. I put everything in the bee's handbag and use a plastic bag too easy. Yeah, exactly. There's some good selection of man bags at Chatuchak Market. Yeah, but yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
that's not a bad idea. I mean,
That's
because there are some decent quality stuff at Chattachak, you just have to find one of the actual like stores there and not
well, you just got to you
or
got to
somebody who
yeah,
specializes
you
in
got
it.
to just weave your way through the
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It is what it is. I figured honestly, I was probably gonna find what I'm looking for in a mall, but not like EM Quartier or something like that,
Mm.
because they're at EM Quartier, they're gonna be like Chanel or Prada or I don't even know. I don't even know if these are like bag companies or if they're like cosmetic companies. Like that's how out of touch I am with
Yeah,
like this
yeah. I think
industry.
they cover the
Like,
lot. Yeah.
If you want a
but
MISO, you need a Gucci.
yeah, but I don't know if a Gucci is actually functional. Like if a Gucci was functional and it had
Doesn't
like
have to
rip
be. It's
stop, if it
got
had
Gucci
rip
on it.
stop and it was like waterproof, then yes, I would take a Gucci. But if it doesn't have that and it's not functional for me, I fail to see the point and it's stupid. I don't know. Robert Grove says no
No.
more uppers are not legal. They are classed as a low-level drug, punishable by a 20,000 baht fine, and they are extremely hard to find.
Yeah. Okay. I think that answered that question. But yeah, kratom is their replacement upper, and you can get that at local sort of wet markets, street markets. It's floating around everywhere. You'd even buy the plants in the local shops, like in the what are called horticultural shops, things like that. Yeah, yeah, we got some strange things that happen here in Thailand, you know. But such is life. We get used to it. What is it? What about small camera bag? They're waterproof models. Yeah.
It's
well,
not a bad idea.
Well, I said I just hit mine with the what do you call it? That spray stuff. You know. The what do you call it? The spray retardant. You know, like they don't have
Oh,
any.
the water retardant.
Yeah.
You can get that at home price.
Yeah, that's right. I think I bought it on Lazada last time when I had my old shoulder bag, because that was a Hessian, what do you call it, the Hessian bag, not Hessian, was it fabric cloth bag? So I hit it with the waterproof thing, and that kept the water out of it. But yeah,
it doesn't eat the fabric or anything when you.
Well, and it's
okay.
No, it's from memory. It's polycarbonate based, so it gives a polycarbonate.
that was the old bag. That one there. So I've got a photo to focus there. Yeah, and that one was what do they call it? What's the name of the stuff? They call it something now. Oh, God, man. No, the stuff that you spray. It's
water retardant spray. That's all I
yeah.
know.
Maybe the same thing that they use in Fix-A-Flat.
I'm just trying to think of the name. There is actually a name of it, a name for it, and I just completely forgotten the name. But yeah, you buy it in a spray can and just
Beeswax Armor All. Beeswax.
Armor All.
Beeswax. Is that a brand, or is that like literally like going to the
that,
beehive and rubbing the beehive on there?
No, that'd be his lovely wife.
Okay.
Beeswax with beeswax and beeswax. Bees got some
So
wax.
that's what I'll do. I'll go and buy a Chanel.
Scotch Guard.
Scotch Guard. That was the name. Thank you, Ruth.
X-Nile, thank you.
I'll go and buy a Gucci bag and then put Scotch Guard on it.
Yeah. There you go. I knew somebody would know the name. Like, as soon as he says it, I know exactly what we're talking about. Just couldn't think of the name. I'm thinking of putting some whitewashing powder inside some zip bags and placing it in the wife's luggage next trip. Should be a I don't think they'll find it amusing somehow.
Until they find your fingerprints on it, and then
yeah.
Because the worst part is the fact that they might actually sort of find traces of some sort of drug in there. You never know what's in that washing powder. Oh my God. Yes,
she's a good sport.
Yeah, but she is. Anyway, there was a couple of things that I thought we might want to cover. Gucci, shoulder bags, Lazada. That one, get rid of. Yeah, this one here I thought was an interesting one that came up as a top story, which I thought, well, let's have a quick look at it. The PPRP received cash. Like, they're always trying to pin something on something. I don't know how.
What is the PPRP?
That's the PPRP, the ruling.
Okay.
This is the current ruling party that basically holds the government together. Faces a probe that could result in the dissolution. Its dissolution after a key party figure admitted the party accepted a donation from the alleged owner of a Bangkok pub raided earlier this week. This is the big story of this week. It's been all over the news. It's the only story of worst note this week is this big raid that went on this week with 200 and something Chinese nationals.
Raid, and then the let's see. There was the other story about the buyout of Miss Universe.
Oh yeah, I did read that one, but I don't know. I don't know if people would have thought that would have been I thought that was interesting. That Trump used to own that. But anyway, if it comes up in the list, I'll a highly placed source in Election Commission said the poll agency can launch a fact-finding investigation without waiting for a petition to be lodged, following the disclosure from the PPRP's chief strategist that the party accepted 3 million baht from that guy last year. I don't know if basically I don't know how the Thai system works. Did he know it was from illegal cash, or seriously, if somebody gave you money, just because you accepted it, you're liable because somebody gave you money? I don't know.
That means at one point in time that we were all liable for something at somewhere because of the way that money transacts.
Yeah, I know.
This is
But they'll use it. That's it.
Again,
They'll use it to pin something on it. They're always fighting. They don't solve the problems of the world. They just fight.
I don't have citizenship yet, so I don't have a say in it.
I don't have a say in it either. But yeah, it's just interesting.
I mean, yeah, that's a good point. I still can comment on it. But
according to the source, the EC is authorised to investigate. So it's a bit of a strange system. But yeah. What will happen, I suppose, that what this is saying is if they're found to be in, collusion, then they'll disband the party, because that one party that they presented, the one that the guy had media.
Yeah, the Future Forward Party.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like the guy didn't even
torn or something.
Yeah, he didn't even know. He didn't even know he had a media company. Because you buy a company, but unfortunately, the way the company sort of structure things work, as companies merge, they don't disillusion the mandates of a bought company when they come into you basically you inherit all the paperwork subsidiary and as I said, he didn't know he had a media company, and they shut the whole party down just because the leader, again, this is the way the system works.
It's interesting how I guess, in one way I do kind of enjoy like seeing how things work over here with this like attack on the party itself and disillusionment. It is a refreshing change from the American system of red versus blue.
Yeah, Seth Barker, he's on his way out. Okay, so I'll catch you next time, Seth. The Parliament gets dissolved on March 2023, and then they'll have 6 weeks to elect. 6 weeks to the election, as per Thai law. Yeah. It's again.
So do the parties get like recreated each year? Huh. Or not year, but election cycle?
No, the elected officials. So there's a ruling conglomerate.
Yeah.
Okay. They have certain amount of seats. From my investigation, I could be wrong, and tell me if I'm wrong. When the election is heard, all those seats get disbanded, so you have to re-elect people into new positions. And then if there's enough people from one party, then they form a majority parliament. If not, then they have to wheel and deal with the other parties.
Yeah.
Oh, that's intriguing.
I think
cool.
when you start to look at it, there actually seems to be some good common sense in the way that they've structured this, anti-major party sort of structure thing. The way they've done it's obviously questionable, but the whole idea of the fact that they can't have one super party like we do in Australia, like the Labor Party is in every state and every constituent everywhere, Not that there's anything wrong with it, but again, some people just like to be a little bit more localised, and I think this is, in my opinion, and the biggest problem we have with democracy is the increasing pool of people to elect a very small head of state. And what we need to be doing, we need to be getting back to smaller and smaller groups, with some sort of autonomy, right, working to a common goal, right. So the fact that a sort of example I'd use where I was in Australia, in was it Barara, the Barara constituency for the federal government, you're totally out of touch with the people who are actually representing you in the government, because that guy there, this like we got 500,000 people in the Barara constituent, and you don't know him.
It's like Congress, and I went to an interesting meeting in the U.S. about 10 years ago, where they were talking about this thing called the Convention of the States, where they were, and one of the things in it was saying that Congress and Senate, rather than operating out of Washington, D.C., would operate out of the local states, so they would be more in touch with the local populations, because we actually have the technology now to be able to meet remotely. That never happened. Another thing was term limits for those people, and of course, that didn't happen either. But that's an interesting point as far as elected officials being out of touch of the day-to-day lives of the people that they are representing.
Yeah. And that's again, that's the basic problem we have with society is the fact that they want to hold their position, right, and they have the way to sway public opinion, so they have people fighting against people rather than the people fighting against the corrupt governments. Getting back to the whole idea, is the fact the Thai system sort of seems to have come up with a way just to say you cannot have one big party. We want smaller parties working as a bipartisan cooperative group where people of different ideas can put through, and then of course it's voted on in a majority. That's where it falls down, of course, this Senate sort of situation where the Senate was pretty much elected by the army generals. I don't know if that does that happen. Do they re-elect the same Senate or something? I don't know. I'm not quite sure.
Well, that's what's involved, and then they do the re-elections. But as Grovesy just put up, 520 spots, 250 have to go to the military as per the constitution. And the party members voted in to the other 250 to 70 positions.
So the military maintains a majority. Okay.
Yeah, but then that's where you get the checks and balances between the 3 or 4 different parties and the elected or the positioned military members. So I think it was done to form some healthy debate and with the checks and balances for policy making. But like most machines, there are sort of flaws and things that don't go right.
Yeah, bit of a weird system, but I said, from as an outsider position, I don't see any real, negativity. There's the 3-finger salute part, people running around who want to, the anarchists of. It doesn't matter who's going to be in play.
I have no opinion on this.
Yeah, they're just anarchists.
As long as they don't put dirty, oily hands on the Mona Lisa like they're trying to do at the moment, I don't care.
Yeah, but you always find those small groups. I have
no opinion on this.
What else have we got in
this? Not the droids you were looking for.
We are not the ears. What else have we got? Opinions of everybody. What have we got? What's Tiger got? Of course, on that raid, the police have been removed from the system, because some fishy ongoings there. Letting the Chinese run their little scheme. That's what happens. I think it seems to be quite popular. They can't keep checks and balances at everybody, and everybody's broke, so everybody wants to make a few extra bucks.
Yeah, Robert, if I ever wind up getting citizenship, I might change my perspective. But, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, obviously news going on, but nothing of really, anything that I thought was really worth, apart from the water. Thai MP to swim across Chao Phraya River for charity. Yeah, well, whatever. Big stunts.
That pool, I think he needs to train in a different pool.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna do that, you gotta get your immune system going for the Chao Phraya.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. But
is the charity his medical bills after he does that?
Man ever pays taxi 253,000 baht.
Oh yeah, I saw those.
Sometimes we get a lot of people bagging Thais, internationally about you can't trust them, you can't do this, you can't do that. Look, you're going to get that in every society, but I don't see these sort of messages coming through in Australia. Somebody left, what's that? 253,000 baht. What's that? That's $100,000 in the taxi. If that happened in a taxi, that fucking taxi driver.
No. That's 10,000. That's 10,000.
10,000. Is it 10,000?
Yeah, it's a bit less than that.
Anyway, $10,000 in a taxi. I'm pretty sure that taxi driver is not going to be handing it in anywhere. Right?
Yeah.
This is it happens. Phones in the backs of taxis. Like I've actually jumped in a taxi and found a phone in the back seat, and I actually gave it to the taxi driver, and he said he was quite apprehensive to actually receive it from me. I said, it's not my phone, and it's Thai, so you can look at it and you can deal with it, because I've heard bad stories as well. Pick that phone up out of the back of the, so it's a plant for somewhere, and but you always hear the negatives, but generally the positives are quite good. Like people handing money back.
No, Dowlow's asking about Streamlabs, not Steam Deck.
Okay.
What's with the stream?
Streamlabs? Streamlabs is the application that Wazza is using to actually integrate what he is streaming with YouTube.
Yeah.
When Streamlabs types in chat, it's Wazza's automated system.
Yeah, it looks like if I just drag it over, can I? What? Okay. Yeah, it looks like that. This is the software that we run called Streamlabs. Oh, scary.
Infinite mirror.
But yeah,
it is close to Halloween.
It is. It's Halloween. What, 2 days from now? Monday. Yeah. But yeah, getting back to what's it? Yes.
Robert Groves is talking about for the one rye of land.
I think that's gone through, Grovesy. I think I saw something that they've approved it or whatever. Just now it needs to be gazetted.
Yeah. Chinese will love it. Yes, they couldn't invade, so they'll just buy it up now.
I don't know. It's okay. So and this is an opinion that I've heard, and I'm kind of reiterating this opinion. I'm regurgitating it, and I kind of agree. Where it may not affect most of us, because if you have that kind of money, you probably aren't going to have that kind of money to throw away or whatever into investing specifically into Thailand. However, at least it's a step in the right direction of foreigners being able to own land. Like, I get why Thailand is apprehensive about that, so it doesn't have a bunch of foreigners buying up all of the land. Like Costa Rica has this problem. I remember talking to somebody in Costa Rica saying that they were basically, a lot of foreigners were buying up land on the beachfront and forcing the locals to move. So I get that perspective, but at least it's going into a direction where maybe in the future, as a foreigner, you can buy property, because I think there's some good markets around here.
Well, we have this same situation in Australia, and great people, exceedingly great people. I think the figures I read recently was just said, in defence of foreign ownership, as I said, the Chinese own about 0.8% of the land in Australia, which doesn't seem like much. But when you start to categorise what land that they bought, they actually own something like 15% of the useful land in Australia. Because we've got a lot of useless land.
Yeah.
And this is...
And what land the government owns, what land is national park, what land is... Okay, so, yeah, that's actually huge.
That's in Australia, but we've got a land mass the size of the United States. Here in Thailand, we've got a much smaller land mass, and we got the same. We got 3 times the population as Australia, right? In a tenth the size of the land mass. You got to think about the numbers game. The people with money just buying up more land, whereas the Thais don't get to have it. I thought the idea of the Thai ownership, had to be part of the deal, kept the thing all,
Okay, so
sensible.
if you read some of the print that I've read on this says that you invest the money, you can own one rye, and then one thing that I read said that you cannot change that. If you sell that one rye of land,
you cannot buy another
you're done.
one.
Yeah,
you cannot buy another one. Yeah.
Jump now. You're finished. Congratulations, you sold your one rye that you bought.
I think these are just flash in the pan ideas that they come up with, and I don't think they actually go anywhere.
Yeah. The only constant in Thailand is change. So whatever this is in the future, it will change because that's what happens.
That's right. That's what happens. I agree. Land should be for Thai ownership only. Yeah, I've been into that, and partnerships where you're married to the Thai, so you have a legal foothold. The fact that if the marriage is dissolved, that you have to sell and get half, or fight it in the court of law. I think that's a fairly stable sort of system, and it sort of keeps people happy. The fact that we're not, Elon Musk is not coming out here and buying land, because he can, because he's got all the money. He could buy the whole of Thailand. They have to put some checks and balances. This is what happens.
I don't.
Yeah.
I think that this is of course my opinion, but I think as long as it's set to you can only own a certain amount, I'm for foreign ownership. As long as it's the you get only this amount, you can't buy up whole swaths.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but okay, so it has to be in a Thai company name, but you don't really own the Thai company, so again, you don't really own it. Like again, I was talking to some friends last night about this situation because they're half Thai, half American, and so they're full Thai citizens, and they were like, "Oh yeah," they were talking about investing in land, and I'm like, "Well, that's you.
Good luck with that."
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So, I said this. Apart from there's really just not much news going on. What's Bangkok Post? Yeah, that was the only thing that really sort of seemed to come up in Bangkok Post. Digital currency push, ex-democrat quicks, warfare guns.
But yeah, everybody's doing their CBDCs. Central bank digital currencies, and you can tell by my tone of voice how I feel about those. Yeah, do your research on those. This is not a positive thing for freedom and happiness and the free flow of money. And every country is doing this, so enjoy the worst timeline.
Toddlers get free vaccines. Parents warned about dragon's breath sweets. But yeah, nothing that really sort of stood out as being something of noteworthy apart from the bribing scandal. Anyway, we'll just talk amongst ourselves because Thailand's boring.
Visa extension next week. He's got all his paperwork done. I've got mine coming up in about 4 weeks, Grovesy. So
yeah, and I've got to do my 90-day today, but it's closed, so I'll go on Monday.
We have your Sunday afterwards, sort of leeway.
Yeah. I went to because I haven't gotten my card yet from Elite, so I went to their office the day before yesterday, and
we forgot to tell you. Look, Cody is now an Elite visa holder. He can now answer all the questions when he understands how all the system works.
Yeah, all of the questions. Absolutely. I am the expert on it. Definitely. Every single question. No, if I can answer it, I'll try. Or I'll make up an answer. That'll be more fun. And you won't know which one it is.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly.
So something cool that I learned is that the taxi shuttle service, and I confirmed this with Elite, it actually does it so before it was only yeah, exactly, 1337 visa, Elite visa, yeah, baby. So before the taxi service, depending on your package, you get a certain amount of to and from the airports, as long as it's within 50 kilometers. And that was before only for international flights. Now it can be for domestic flights as well. Mm-hmm. So like if I go to Chiang Mai or Phuket or wherever, I can get picked up and stuff, which is cool. I don't think they have a domestic lounge though, so only international lounge access. But yeah, it's to be honest, for me, it's just a lot of stress off of my back because I chose to do it. And there might be questions because I still plan on. I'm probably going to wind up going back to work at a certain point, and you cannot work on an elite visa. But what you can do is in your mind, you got to separate the elite visa specifically from the elite membership. So the elite membership is what you pay for, which allows you to then get an elite visa or a privilege and entry visa is what it's really called.
Yeah.
So and you can unaffix that, affix that, unaffix that, fix that. So if I get a job here, I switch to an appropriate visa for working on that job, and then say that job goes away. Normally, you have 7 days to leave Thailand. Congratulations, or find a new job in that 7 days. Well, I don't want to be in that situation ever. So now instead, I have 7 days to switch my visa, which is much better situation than that. So that is my reasoning for it, is not dealing with stress because I really don't want to go back to that other country that's across the ocean. It is. I'm gonna start saying it. I'm gonna get married then. No, I don't want to be forced to get married.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
I respect people who do that for their own reasons. But as of right now in my life, it's kind of funny. When I was younger, I was like all romantic about the situation, but now, I've become a bitter old curmudgeon. And one of my friends says it best, like the best way to have a relationship is to get the government involved in your relationship. That's you. Everybody's own thing and everybody's own beliefs, happiness, whatever. For me, at this point in my life, because the great thing about people is they can change day to day. It's hypocrisy or just adjustment of personality or just based on new opinions.
So you've been here.
Now, I would rather waste money on an elite visa.
So you've been here now a little just over 12 months, isn't it? When did you come?
In Thailand, actually, I've been here since I'm gonna say July.
Okay. So and how many visas have you had now and extensions?
So
5.
Okay. So I first came here. So in the U.S. Before I came to Thailand, I got a TR visa, which is a tourist visa. So it's a 60-day plus 30-day extension visa. And then I did, and I can't remember if I did this once or twice, they had a COVID extension, which gave you an additional 60
days. I think it was 60 days, yeah.
Each time, making this face expression because this is my I can't remember face expression. And then, I don't, Malcolm K. I don't like either side. If we're gonna get into that, I'll get into that very lightly. I don't like either side, and I think the whole system is more corrupt than Thailand in the U.S. And the U.S. does not value personal freedom. It does not. This is gonna be a big soapbox if we go there.
Yeah.
But to say that my lifestyle and the way that I want to live is very different than the direction that the United States is going, and maybe that's good for some people. Maybe some people enjoy that. They're wrong. It's probably right for some people, but it's not right for me.
Here comes that little snide remark. Oh, there, that's gone.
Yeah.
Anyway, so getting back to the visa, so you had the COVID
visa,
extensions.
Okay. So I did 1 or 2 COVID extensions, and then if I wanted to do math and go back in time, I could probably figure it out how many. But I'm trying to do this on the spot. And then after that, I got an education visa. I knew I was actually going to learn Thai, so it was just a matter of time. I was kind of messing about in Hua Hin for a couple of months, and then I wound up moving to Bangkok.
Bangkok, yeah.
Bangkok or Krung Thep.
Middle, caught in the middle.
Krung Thep Mahana
Yeah.
Kon. Come on.
Yeah,
Come on,
exactly.
say
And
properly.
then learning Thai here.
I forgot
at
to put
this
that in my
point.
day.
I thought we had that before.
I did that at Duke Language School, so the same school that Todd is currently learning at the moment. He is doing it differently than I did it because of time frame, because he lives on the outskirts of Bangkok, so that situation works better for him. I did 5 days a week, 3 hours a day for 9 months. Technically, you only have to go to school for 7 months for the 1-year visa, but I wanted to do the full program exhaustively of what they had available. And I plan on actually going back when they finish. The guy who's writing the books are fantastic. I'm trying to talk fast, so I'm not going to take up all the time. But the books are great, and as soon as he's done writing the next book, I do want to go back because I can understand, like, it depends on the situation. BTS, I understand pretty much everything that's going around me when people are talking Thai. When I'm trying to drink with Thais, I understand about 20% because we get into slang. When I watch the news, I understand about 70% because they use a different formal level of Thai on the news. But for me, again, this is each person, this is essential to the way that I want to live in Thailand. It may not be essential to the way that you want to live in Thailand. So again, it's choose your own adventure. Yeah. There. So I am on my, if you count the COVID extensions, which technically we're still the TR visa, to go back to the original question. I am on my 3rd visa type, the elite visa, because TR with COVID extensions, education visa, and then privilege entry. So.
The point I was going to make was the whole idea you get over here is visas that they changed quite rapidly. Apart from me,
going there every 2 months sucks.
Yeah,
it really sucks. It's you don't realize how much it sucks, and sometimes it's only like 45 minutes to get through it, but sometimes it's 8 hours of sitting at Changwatana. I haven't seen it spelt in Thai, but
Nung Song Sam Si Ha Nati. That's it.
Yeah. You guys are in Nakhon Tom. I am.
Yeah.
Here.
That's it.
Yeah.
And Robert's telling us he can't speak Thai either. And he writes it in phonetic English.
Aye.
There you go. But yeah, anyway, we're getting up to a wrap-up time. But the best thing about the thing I was getting at with the new visa you got, it's just money.
I want to add.
Go on.
Yeah. I want to add one thing that Robert Groves said. Like, you didn't have any problems with all the COVID extensions. I did. I had not the issue that you would expect, though. With the time that I got my COVID extension, they wanted a letter from my embassy, which the government that's worse to deal with than the Thai government is the United States government, because you had to get, like, they would not give me a letter. It was on their website that they wouldn't give me a letter, and there's no like contact email for them that is readily available until you go to the emergency section, and I had to use the emergency email to contact them, and then I got an automated message back that said the exact same thing as the website, but the Thai visa immigration accepted that because it hadn't. I printed out that, and it had an from at embassy blah 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 at the top of it. So it was, there was, and this was at the Hua Hin office. So again, it could be varying by office, varying by official, varying by mood. That is true. I will say. Yeah, sorry.
It's all right. It's okay.
Yeah,
Well, that's it. People
Good.
say I
you
talk
guys
too
are
much.
asking me questions, and I'm trying to answer them. Yeah.
The one thing I did want us to say about the lead visa, when I made inquiries a couple of years ago, this is before COVID, they specifically said, no, you have to leave the country to get the visa to come back in. And I just really, that was the thing that just, what's it going to give me? You know, what's so special about it? Because 90% of the stuff they gave you, their lead visa, I'd never use anyway. It's not like I have a taxi service out here or whatever, the whole thing. But interesting thing enough, Cody didn't have to leave the country.
It changed because of the situation in the world.
Yeah.
So you can get it done in country now.
Would I change again? The simplicity of the visas we've got is just. It's a joke,
I need to add something very important for anybody considering the elite visa. Do not ever be on a volunteer visa if you want the elite visa.
What's that?
No.
What's that?
Because this was over and over in the
visa from
documentation.
somebody. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, this was. Yeah, it's good if you're under 50. If you're over 50, you have other better, cheaper options. The thing about the volunteer visa, and this is my reading into it, is that it can be used by agents as kind of a way of getting around the situation. Like, oh, he's volunteering here and not really volunteering here, but you're getting a visa. So it's a shadier type of visa, so they don't want to be aligned to that. But many documents that I went through and signed specifically said, if you've been on a volunteer visa, you can't do the elite visa.
Yeah.
So just be aware of that.
And the volunteer visa, that's a bit of a grey area as well, and how that works is a bit of a mystery. All these people coming out and helping out the elephant farms up in Chiang Mai and Chiang Rai and things like that.
Yeah.
But those have been closed for 2 years. But they're still giving out the visas to work in that sort of arena. You get how does that work? Anyway, we're well over our hour, or 3 minutes past the hour. I have 5 friends now around here on the elite visas, and they found it easy to get, and none of them, yeah. But listen, I checked it out 3 years ago, this is before COVID, and they were, I said, to the point, they weren't even really sort of interested in even talking to me. They just gave me sort of standard form letters and everything else. I replied to those and said, I'd like to come in and talk to you. Oh, we don't do that. That was in Ceylon, the office of Ceylon. No, we don't talk to anybody. It's done on email only. You can't talk to us. You can't come and see us. That was what it was like 3 years ago. And I'm going, yeah, well, it's just, like you're trying to sell something and you don't want to talk to people.
And I admit that is accurate.
Yeah.
I went through an agent who was a mutual, basically the agent of a mutual friend of ours in order to get it.
Anyway, you got it. That's the main thing. So he's he's an elite now. There you go. I'm holding out for the rich, handsome man. I don't know. How do you say that word? I don't know. Visa 9000. Okay. Hey Rob, hope you're doing well. Okay, Kimbo's in the house. Anyway, we're out of here. We got our hour in. We're out of here, and hopefully we'll have some interesting news next week. Then again, no news is good news.
And we're happy to answer questions.
And we're happy to answer questions.
In the week. Yeah.
And we'll get Cody talking. We'll get Todd talking. We don't want to hear me talking. I only just read the news. Come on. Anyway, I'm out of here. Play the music, and we get out. Peace out, and we'll see you next time.